Hello Darklings! So today I wanted to try for my second sketchbook video. So this is going back to 2012, so it's nice and really embarrassing, but I figured out what I wanted to do a little bit more than my first sketchbook. So all these studs on the cover are held in place with super glue, and they came off of an old phone case that just sort of ripped apart. So I just repurposed the studs in like a ridiculous kind of way. And then this is signed by my friend Carl. But I was really big on Angel Spit when I did this. So this is an old self-portrait from my freshman year of college. And the tea theme that I had in my previous one was going strong. This was the kettle I had in my room. Another self-portrait. This is kind of the cheat sheet on how I would figure out poses for stuff, would be little tiny doodles like this. But I also just glued down a shit ton of random reference images, more tea bags. My roommate drew this. This was also from a class that I had. My roommate drew this. This was inspired by a different friend of mine. And half-finished drawings. It never happened. Caricatures of my friends. Movie tickets. This was for Dark Shadows. And then my friend and her then boyfriend. A different friend who I haven't seen in a while. My friend and her then boyfriend. This is a different friend. This is my friend Holly. But again, with the tiny caricatures. This was a list of used books places in Salt Lake City. More comp sketches for a project. Lots of half-finished things. Again, something my roommate drew. This is the Lady of Shalott that I put in pieces. This is the lyrics to Are You the Rabbit by Marilyn Manson. This was experimenting with pointillism, and this is from Angel Spit again. Lots of very terrible things. Paranorman, The Amazing Spider-Man, my friends from Angel Spit, an order I got for my birthday. So some 3D stuff that I got from my mom. Just really bad sketches. Most of this is admittedly to me very horrible. This was an outfit sketch from apparently May 16th, 2012. And business cards from places that are no longer in business anymore. This ended up turning into a larger marker sketch. These were sketches from a life drawing class. This was something from a friend of mine. And so there's not just my drawings in here. I mean, here's a sketch of my brother, and this was another bad outfit sketch. This one actually has a lot of blank space in it, and I don't really know why. This was illustrating the lyrics to Ditch the Rest by Angel Spit. Drawing my hand, which I draw a lot. It's the main reason I'm able to draw hands, is I've drawn them so many times. Again, lots of really shitty caricatures. And this was trying to design a tattoo for somebody that didn't pan out. This was the said destroyed phone case that made up the studs on the front. This is from when the girl with the dragon tattoo came out. Actually, I don't think it was even out yet when I drew that. This is lyrics for Ziggy Stardust. This was the beginning of the Bowie fixation. But this was still very early on, and I was more fixated on Marilyn Manson. So these are actually drawn by somebody when I was in 8th grade, and I still had them, forgot about it, and then found them and stuck them in here. More crazy little ballpoint doodles. Nightmare stuff. Bad caricatures again. Something from class notes. Something that turned into a bad painting. Let's see, movie tickets for Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which I thought was awful and embarrassing, and Prometheus, which I did like, even if it wasn't great. More bad sketches. More nightmare stuff. Turned into a bad drawing. Some comments on John Milton, and that was the first time I wanted to learn anything about him. Planning out more summer project stuff that didn't pan out. This ended up being really bad summer. Another doodle from my former roommate. This is said former roommate, Holly. And then this was another darling friend of mine from college, Lindsay. Bad outfit sketches again. And drawing my hand again. This ended up turning into a painting that I put on my phone, on one of my old phone cases. It ended up flaking all off and I repainted it into something else. These were when I was shopping to get my first tattoo done, and this is who I ended up getting my first tattoo from. But these are other local Salt Lake artists. And then again, more tiny things that just got glued in here. This was pretty much what I looked like when I flew back to Utah for my first year of college, and I was kind of a wreck and wore too much clothing to be on an airport in June, and a bad Fuka drawing. This was trying to explain how to get to my house to somebody with really bad drawings. This was further explaining it, and it involved even worse drawings. I don't know what's going on over here. Bad sunglass drawings, I guess. These are movie tickets. I had to stare at them for a while before I figured out they were for Frankenweenie. This was a flower that a friend of mine gave me when she visited. See, the beginning of the Bowie. And this was from my Marilyn Manson phase. And this was, again, Marilyn Manson. This was an idea for a tattoo that I'm really glad I didn't do. More doodles. More doodles. This one really does have a lot of empty space in it. I did like this little doodle over here. But more outfit sketches. More tiny sketches that I cannot figure out. I think that this was supposed to be an old dream that I had, and I think this was part of it too. The one time I attempted to draw a manga style and it looks really bad, and I had to copy it directly from another picture because I never figured out how manga is supposed to fucking work. This is from William Control, the Green Man design. What's really funny is that Storm at Art on You Studios, this is now where I work, and this is from more than 5 years ago, and it's really trippy to think that these business cards are in here long before I ended up working there, and it's funny how the world works like that sometimes. This is from watching Snow White and the Huntsman, which I saw the midnight premiere of because I had to wake up so damn early in the morning to get on the plane. I stayed up the whole night, so my friends and I just said, fuck it, we really like Charlize Theron. She looks good, even if we don't care about Kristen Stewart, so we'll go and see that. These were comp sketches for something that ended up being a final project for a color theory class. This was based, I don't know if it was based off of A Nightmare or the opening of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This ended up doing color psychology. Lots of empty space in here. I think this was supposed to be a tattoo design. This ended up being a drawing that didn't happen. I don't know what some of this stuff is. Again, this is from the studio I work now, and it's really weird to think that that's how it works. This is when I saw Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, so this was the third time I saw it on the stage. This was seeing Zarkana, the first Cirque du Soleil show, which was, again, in New York. This is what I looked like when I started college at 18, which is super embarrassing. So that's pretty much everything. I hate this sketchbook, but I hope that you enjoyed seeing how far I've come, because I know that I'm glad to have grown this much. Till next time, Darklings.